Yo, what's up, guys? Let's find some bets. So without further ado, we'll keep this short. We got a lot of games starting here in a bit. So let's look for some plays. We got a full slate of NBA, some pretty good games going on right now. So where do we want to start? PrizePicks, Underdog. Let's take a look. So we can start out on Underdog Fantasy, and it doesn't look like there's much. So again, that's the benefit of having multiple books, right? Is all these books run different promos like Underdog Fantasy. You can see they're running a promo right now on LeBron. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, they're discounting his points plus rebounds plus assist line to 30.5. So definitely want to take advantage of that. You can see right here, this is just the Odds Jam Sportsbook screen. It just kind of shows you where all books have their line set. I mean, 30.5 is a pretty solid discount. You have hundreds of sports books out there, right? Like dozens of books are posting NBA lines. They all have LeBron's, line at 44.5, 42.5. Underdog, you can get 30.5 with the promo. It's a no-brainer. Kind of like being able to buy a stock at 30 bucks and 50 cents when it's trading in the stock market at 44.50. Like obviously, if I could buy Facebook for $200, I would. But anyways, where do we want to start? So why don't we start out on PrizePicks? Whoa. So we got a lot of PrizePicks plays popping up. Some of these plays I kind of skip over. And you don't have to skip over them, but all this betting tool is mainly for PrizePicks, Underdog, ParlayPlay, these fixed payout fantasy sites. And all it does is point out discrepancies. So if you check out this player, there can be value in any market. I don't really care what I'm betting on. Oscar, CS2, esports play. What's great about esports is there's just so many games. And a lot of games means the books have a lot of surface area to cover. I mean, the NFL's like one day a week, not that many games. Esports, there's dozens of games every single day. These books have thousands of lines up. All these books are setting their own lines. So that means more opportunity for them to screw up. So you look at this play, Oscar, PrizePicks has his line at 34.5, Hot Streak, one other book. Only two books are posting lines. Hot Streak has his line at 29.5. So there's this big discrepancy in the market. It doesn't make any sense. Right? It's like if you went to Fidelity and Facebook was $300 and on E-Trade it's $200. It would be pretty easy to be a day trader, right? But you only have two books. So if you're going to play these, what I recommend is middling them. Middle betting. Hit the over 29.5 on Hot Streak, the under 34.5 on PrizePicks. You'll win both plays. You have a 5, gap. You'll win both plays if he has 30 to 34. But anyways, for now, let's just kind of skip over that. Middling, kind of boring. So why don't we go here? Oh, shit. This play actually looks very good. So I don't want to miss anything. So you got to move quickly. These great betting opportunities, they're not going to last forever. So I just kind of hop around from book to book, see where I can find some value. So we want to look at Valanciunas rebounds plus assists. So let's take a look. So what is going on here? Damn, there are a lot of bets. Whoa. So, whoa. So let's go here and let's take a look. So the first play that Odds Jam is recommending is Valanciunas under 10.5 rebounds. So what is going on here? And again, like a lot of people like to look at historical stats, right? So let's pull this up quickly. I don't think this, and you can see these assholes already bumped it down to 10. It was 10.5. Honestly, 10 still seems a little bit decent, but it just doesn't feel that great because they had the line at 10.5. They already bumped it down to 10. But if you look at all these other books, they have his line at 9.5. PrizePicks was at 10.5. They bumped it down, which kind of sucks, but whatever. We don't have much time left, so let's just kind of move on. But anyways, a lot of people like to look at historical stats, but that's kind of stupid. Every game is different. Everything is baked into the market, right? All these injuries, stuff like that. So one Twitter account I recommend following is Underdog NBA. They kind of post all these questionable players, who's starting, who's not starting, who's sitting out, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, do they ever plan on playing? right? Like all that stuff moves around lines. When Anthony Davis is out, LeBron's going to take more of the load. His PRA line has to move. So whenever there's injuries or news, just like a stock will move after its earnings report, they made a lot of money, they did really well, the stock price goes up to reflect the new information in the market. It's the same thing in the NBA. Whenever these lineups, injuries, all these books have to update their odds. And again, all books set their own odds. So they all got to update odds. But anyways, where do we want to start? Damn, there are a lot of plays on ParlayPlay as well. But anyways, the first play we can go with is Kyrie Irving. So let's go back here. And what we can do is we can pull up Kyrie. Is we want to take him under 4.5 rebounds, right? So again, the way that PrizePicks works, if you go through the math behind PrizePicks, is long story short, they have fixed payouts, right? Like on PrizePicks, if you take Kyrie's over or is under, doesn't matter. You always get the same payout, right? PrizePicks has fixed payouts. So the reason the under is the sharp pick here, right here, you just look for the PrizePicks logo, is look at all the sports books. All the books have him heavily favored to go under, right? And you can pull up line movement charts and stuff, but I mean, whatever. Long story short, he's heavily favored to go under. So that's the sharp pick we want to be on. All these esports plays, only 2 books posting lines. So Underdog, all these other books haven't posted lines yet. So we can kind of skip those over. But anyways, that's the first play OddsJam's recommending. Then we have Tyler Hero under, Cade Cunningham under, or Tyler Hero under in points plus assists. So I'm just trying to move quickly because you saw how quickly they moved that play on Valanciunas. So we want to take Tyler Hero under. Obviously, having a great season, but whatever. I follow a very data-driven approach. Data never lies long-term. So we want to go to Cade over 28.5 points plus rebounds. And what else did we have? Whoa. So let's go back here. And you want to play 5-pick entries on PrizePicks. So if you look here, like on PrizePicks, they only give you a 5x payout for these 3-pick entries. On Underdog Fantasy, they give you a 6x payout, right? Damn, it's 8-0 Knicks. So obviously a 6x payout is better than a 5x payout. So it really does matter, like long-term, how many picks you're going with in these entries. So anyways, the final play, not much value. I mean, not a super high profit margin, but still, Trevor Moore, all the books have his over heavily favored. Again, on PrizePicks, they're going to give us the same damn payout. If we take him to go over, we get a 10x payout. If we take him to go under, we get a 10x payout. So we want to take the over because that's the heavily favored outcome. So it's like, okay, we got 4 good picks, but ideally we can find one more. Ideally, we can find one more play. Kyle Lowry. We don't want to take Kyle Lowry under an assist because we already have Tyler Hero, who's also on the Heat, right? We don't want to take 2 players on the same team under an assist. So here's a spot where it's like, okay, I know there's only 2 data points, but hey, I need a 5th pick on PrizePicks. So what we can do is we can go with this Oscar play, the CS2 play. So hopefully we hit our 4 NBA plays. None of these plays are in the same game. After we hit our 4 NBA plays and our NHL play, we'll have an esports sweat for tonight. And again, like limits suck. PrizePicks only gives me a $25 max bet size, which is, why I'm going to start spending less time on PrizePicks on these live streams. But obviously it's a popular platform. I use a ton of different sports books, FanDuel, DraftKings, a ton of different books. But long story short, depending on where you're located, you may use different sports books. I don't know, what books are legal in your state. There's 200 books on OddsJam. But what's really weird about the US and all these places is like every book, is only legal in certain states. So I try at least to focus on the sports books that are legal in the most states. Like Fliff is a good sports book, legal in a bunch of states. Underdog, PrizePicks. And then let's also add in ParlayPlay. I'd say those are probably the 4 most popular platforms. But anyways, what the hell is going on here? So we got the Lakers game over 222. So again, speed is important. These great bets, they're not going to last forever. Again, here's the play we locked in on PrizePicks. And again, on PrizePicks, if you go through the math behind PrizePicks, you'll see to be profitable on PrizePicks, all you got to do is be able to win your over-unders like Kyrie over under 4.5, right? All you got to do to win on PrizePicks long-term is win these over-unders above 54.25% of the time. That's not easy to do, right? Like if you have no advantage, if you have no edge, no advantage, if you let your grandma make the picks or grandpa who don't watch sports, they're going to win 50%, lose 50% of their picks, right? It's like flipping a coin. If you have no advantage, no edge in making your picks, you're going to win 50% of your over-unders, you're going to lose 50%. And if you do that, this little spreadsheet I made breaks down the payouts, the math behind PrizePicks. If you only win 50% of your picks, your ROI on PrizePicks is going to be negative 25%. That's their business model. That's how PrizePicks makes money, right? They know most people don't have an advantage and are only going to win their picks 50% of the time. But on PrizePicks, you got to win above 54.25% of your picks to be profitable. But anyway, so this play on Kyrie, right? Like, or wow, now there's a new play on Ingram. But like, why is this play on Trevor Moore profitable on PrizePicks? Why is it a profitable pick? Well, because it's winning above 54.25% of the time. Why is it winning above 54.25% of the time? Look at all the market data points, all the books posting odds. All these books have sophisticated models. They've invested millions of dollars in their ability to set and move lines based on where action's coming in, stuff like that. They all have him. Every single book. There's numerous books. They're all telling you the same thing. Trevor Moore is a pretty big favorite to go over. Bet Online, a very sharp sports book, they have his over all the way up at minus 167. So he's a lot more likely to go over. But anyways, let's go back here and see what's the deal with these plays on Fliff. Looks like, so like, you know, when lineups are coming out, a lot of times that's when you see the best bets show up. When lineups are coming out and stuff like that, because depending on who's playing, who's not playing, like when it comes out that Anthony Davis isn't playing tonight, LeBron's line has to move. The money line has to move. The whole market has to move. All these different player props. Damn, so there's some more bets on PrizePicks, but let's go to Fliff here for a second. You can also see there's a lot of plays on ParlayPlay. So what's the first play OddsJam's recommending? You can see they already moved it. The odds of this bet have changed. So we want to try to move quickly on some of these. Anything strike our eye? Meh. Let's go over to ParlayPlay quickly. So again, like the more books you have access to, never really know what books are going to have the best promos, the best arbitrage bets on a given day. More books, the better. So if we go over to ParlayPlay, let's take a look. So ParlayPlay, there was some crazy value this morning. So Baker Mayfield got him over 233.5 passing yards. A lot of times the best bets are early. When books first post lines, every book has a slightly different model. Sometimes that's when they screw up. And again, OddsJam's just scanning the market, pointing out value. So anyways, the first play we got is Sengun under 6 assists. So let's go back here. Let's refresh this. And let's go here. So we got 10 minutes left here. But if you look at Baker, all these other books have his line at like 240, 245, 250. We got him over 233.5 on ParlayPlay. Like, seems like a no-brainer. But anyways, so the first play we want is Sengun under 6 assists. So let's take a look at this. We can just kind of pull up the OddsJam Sportsbook screen, take a look at the market, take a look at the data, and see what the deal is. So you can see Underdog has the line at 5. Sportsbooks have his line at 5.5 with the under heavily favored, right? So Caesar Sportsbook, it's a $10 billion company. Same with DraftKings. No offense, your shitty little model is not better than DraftKings, who's taking bets, moving around lines based on where the sharp action's coming in. Sharp action is coming in. Like, you have numerous data points. Barstool, everyone has the line at 5.5 with the under heavily favored. So I don't know if something happened in the Rockets game, but that's obviously a pretty big discrepancy. So it's like, okay, like that seems like something, maybe we want to take advantage of. And then we have Valanciunas under 12.5 rebounds plus assists. So again, the same like strategies apply to betting on any of these books. It's just like which book's going to have the good shit on a given day. So here it's like, Valanciunas. All these other books have his line at 11.5 rebounds plus assists. Why is ParlayPlay at 12.5? I have no idea. But it's just like very simple logic. It's like, okay, like should probably take the under. So there we go. We got our second pick. And what else do you have for us? So we can kind of refresh this and let's just kind of take a look. So you can see there's a shit ton of value on ParlayPlay. It's definitely one of the, in my opinion, one of the best books out there to have right now. So we have Luka under 3.5 made threes. So if we go here, right, like it's the same thing, right? You may be thinking like, oh, why don't I just place this bet on PrizePicks? This line isn't available on PrizePicks. All these books have different lines. So like Luka, it's the same strategy. All the books, right? Just following the data. All the books have Luka heavily favored to go under 3.5. We also have Kobe White assists in the Bulls game. Damn, there's a lot of NBA today. So we have 4 unders to start out this slip. So again, it's like very same strategy. It's like, okay, like ParlayPlay, they're going to give us the same damn payout. If we take them over or under, we still get a 10x payout. So why do we want to take the under? Let's pull up the books. Let's pull up the data, right? Is every single book has his under heavily favored. So it's like, okay, like seems like a pretty good pick to go with. We have Grant under 30.5 PRAs. So are any of these picks in the same game? That's the only thing you want to be careful of is if you're including picks in the same game, you just want to make sure nothing negatively correlated. Damn, there's just a lot of games today in general, but we got some good picks. Aaron Jones under 56.5 rushing yards. All the books have him at 51.5. So it's like, okay, let's just kind of pull up the data as always, just kind of take a look at the market. And hopefully we go 5 for 5 on our NBA plays, and then we have an NFL sweat. So the optimal slip type is these 6-pick entries. They actually recently lowered their payouts for their non-insured entries. This used to be 40x. They lowered it to 30x. So the optimal slip type is 6-pick insured entries. So here's kind of your payouts. It's actually the exact same payout as a PrizePicks 6 flex if you use PrizePicks. And that's what we're going to go with. So you look at Aaron Jones, it's like we're creating our own discounts, creating our own Taco Tuesday, however you want to think about it. It's like all these books have his line at 51.5. ParlayPlay's got his line at 56.5. No brainer, take the under. So we got a pretty good play down. We got it off in time before the game start. I hit this arbitrage bet earlier. So arbitrage is a great strategy. If you don't do it, you should. It's free money. It takes like 20 seconds to place these bets. I mean, you can see I'm locked and loaded on this Ingram play. Ingram under 6.5 assists. I'm on it for $250. So, and the reason I'm on it for $250 is that's the max bet size actually available on Flip. They only have a max bet size of $250. So whatever you want to bet, you'll see most of my bets are for $250. That's just the max bet size they have. But arbitrage, all these books set their own odds. Every book sets their own odds, their own lines. So when they get super out of sync, you can bet the over on one book. In this case, you bet the over on FanDuel, the under on Flip, and you'll make a risk-free profit. So Flip has a max bet size of $250. So we put that into the arbitrage calculator. So I'm making $18 risk-free. And I already bet this. But you just follow the calculator. So the calculator tells you, hey, bet 219.86 on FanDuel on Ingram over 6.5. And it's like, I do recommend round your numbers. Like, don't bet, exactly what the calculator tells you, 219.86. Round up to $220 and you'll make a risk-free profit of $18.23. Pretty good. So we can go through the math very quickly. How does this work out, right? You can see their odds are so different. They're so out of sync. Fliff has this over at minus 150, right? Fliff has the over at minus 150. FanDuel's at plus 122. So we'll go back to some PrizePicks plays in a second, but like to just kind of very briefly go through the math. If he goes over versus under, so if he goes over on FanDuel or on Fliff, we lose, right? On Fliff, we bet the under for 250. So if he goes under, I'm going to lose on Fliff, $250 right here, right? And there's tons of arbitrage bets every day. So if he goes over, I lose here, but on FanDuel, I'm up 220 times 1.22. I bet $220 just following the arbitrage calculator. I bet 220 at plus 122 odds. So if he goes over, I win 268 on FanDuel. I lose 250 on Fliff. I make $18. Now, on the other hand, if he goes under, I lose 220 on FanDuel. On Fliff, I'm up 250 times 100 over 105. I'm betting at minus 105 odds. So I'm up 238. No matter what, I make a risk-free profit of $18. So sometimes there's better arbitrage bets than others, which is why, again, like more books, better. Sometimes there's really good arbitrage bets between FanDuel and Fliff. Sometimes it's FanDuel and DraftKings. More books, better. But anyways, what else do we got going on? So we can go back to Underdog. Nothing. Board is pretty dry. Sleeper had some promos today. So how are we looking on? Damn, what is going on PrizePicks? So I don't know if there's some injury news. What's up with these lines? But if you look at PrizePicks, it's like Jabari Smith. What is going on with his rebound line? So if we go here to player rebounds, we don't want the WNBA. We want the NBA. So Jabari Smith, it looks like all the books have his line at, 7.5 rebounds. PrizePicks is chilling at 7. So it's like, okay, like what's going on there? So we can go here. And again, we want to try to move quickly because they will bump this shit right in front of your eyes. So we have a play now on Jabari Smith. I don't know if there was any lineup changes, but this is how you get an edge, right? This is a pick. Again, on PrizePicks, you got to win 54.25% of your picks to be profitable. All the books have his line higher at 7.5 with the over favored, right? Like with the over favored as well. Most of these books have the over favored. So it's like, yeah, I mean, like that seems like a pretty good bet to go with. Caesars has his over as a minus 129 favorite, over 7.5. And we're getting over 7, which is a no-brainer. So it's like, okay, like that play seems pretty good to go with. But what else do we like? So a lot of picks for Lakers, Rockets. But again, like we aren't going to be able to include his other plays. We don't really want to include plays in the same game. So what we want to do is we want to go to Sharp, under 26.5 points plus rebounds. Obviously having an incredible season, but hey, following the data. So we have this play on Cade Cunningham again. I mean, sometimes I'll include a play in the same slip a few times. Why not? So here we go. We got a lot of games starting here in a second, but we're getting one last PrizePicks play down. So then we got Grant Williams over 4.5. And we can take that. Beauty. So none of these picks in the same game, so we're good to go there. And then we have that play on Trevor Moore, right? So then we have some random NHL picks. So this play will settle tonight. And again, like every pick winning above 54.25% of the time, PrizePicks is going to be an asshole and say, yep, you only get a $25 max bet size. And it's kind of stupid, but you can like switch out picks and then bet it again. So here's what we'll go with. Seems solid. None of these picks in the same game. Good to go. So it's like, okay, like that seems solid. What else is available? Any plays on Fliff? So I gave out some plays on Fliff earlier, some parlays, whatever. But anyways, let's see what we got going on. So we can go back to ParlayPlay and we can take a look. Why not? So some of these plays were already on, right? But hey, some of these games are starting at 5. So parlay plays about to rip down the line. So I probably won't have enough time yet. I probably need to focus on these 5:30 games. So Najee Harris over 49.5 rushing yards. Let's take a look at this play. So it's okay, whoops. So we want to go to NFL rushing yards. And again, why am I focusing on parlay play? It's there's not really jack shit on Underdog. So I'm just following the value. If there's value in esports, well, it bets on esports. Steph Curry under 34.5 points plus assists. All the books have his line at 33.5. Find plays with an edge. Make money long term. And if you're getting ripped off, right? If every book PrizePicks, so there's the PrizePicks play we just locked in, but if we go back to the NBA, it's okay, PrizePicks has Curry points plus assists at 34. Parlay plays at 34.5. If you're placing bets at over 34.5 when other books are offering 34, you're getting ripped off, right? And finding value, not that fucking complicated, is the key to beating the books. You can't be getting ripped off and expect to make money. Granted, if you're just dicking around on the sports books, only betting $2 a week, who really cares, right? You can tune out of this live stream. No offense, you're betting $2 a week. But for the people looking to take it seriously, obviously it matters. You're not going to make money if you're getting ripped off long term. But anyways, we have Najee Harris over 49.5 rushing yards. It's like being able to buy a stock at $49.50 when it's trading in the market at $55. It's this is a fucking no-brainer. So it's okay, there we go. We got our second pick. And you can see, probably should have started the live stream a little earlier because it looks like, once these games started, a lot of the value went away. So we already have this play on Grant, right? Under 30.5. And we'll go back to PrizePicks here in a second, but it's okay, we have this play on Grant. We have this play on Jones. They only have a $60 max bet size. So honestly, I don't even know if there's going to be enough value to place a bet yet. So we can refresh this and just kind of take a look. So it's we already bet this, we already bet this, we already bet this. So there's not even going to be 6 good picks for us to go with. So no more value on parlay play. We can check out this. Again, FanDuel, DraftKings are great books. Caesars, they have a lot of good promos too. You can see there's some actually really good bets. Malcolm Brogdon, double-double, looks solid on FanDuel. I just try to focus on the books that are legal in the most states on these live streams, which is Fliff, ParlayPlay, PrizePicks. So this I already bet earlier on Fliff. This we already bet on PrizePicks. So it's okay, ParlayPlay, Underdog, there's not enough value right now to place a bet. Go back to PrizePicks. It's okay, all these plays are for the Rockets game, which is starting right now. Here we have only 2 data points. There's one play for the Mavericks game, but not really enough value to place a slip because most of these are for the 5 p.m. game, which they're about to rip down. But you can see some of the line movement happens pretty close to game time, right? So LeBron, whatever. Who knows why the market ripped him as a much bigger favorite to go under? Maybe the lineups changed and someone's playing who's going to steal minutes from Grant, right? Maybe Sharp Action started hammering his under. You can see all the bookmakers, Pinnacle, sharpest sports book in the world, known to be really accurate with their lines, really sharp. They've ripped him down to being a minus 152 favorite to go under. So who knows? I don't know why this line moved. You can probably go back, look at injury announcements, lineups, official lineups. Probably was around then. Most of the line movement in the NBA is because of injuries and lineups because, Devin Booker's not playing. Lines have to move around. But anyways, we'll call it a day for now because it doesn't really seem – board got pretty dry. But hopefully this was helpful and, thanks so much.